Tonight on Nate Newswatch.
The Alberta Alcohol Registry launches a new campaign to encourage people to make better choices while drinking.
They really responded very well to the serious message that comes in a lighter way.
A new snow removal schedule is released.
I think knowing when is one of the biggest questions that we've had in the past, is when are you going to be in my area?
And 2 men badly burned in a house fire receive an award for their courage.
There was a lot of support within the hospital too, right? Through doctors and nurses.
Newswatch starts now.
Good evening. The Alberta Gaming and Liquor Commission has launched a new campaign targeted at Alberta's youth.
The new Thanks Alcohol campaign is trying to get a serious message about binge drinking across in a lighthearted way. Jordan Wardell joins us live from our news center with more on that story.
It can't always be alcohol's fault is the tagline for the campaign. It's about thinking to have fewer drinks, not to stop drinking in general. Drinks up! Alyssa Thompson is a first-year apprentice that has lived through what excessive binge drinking can do.
From grade 7 probably to grade 10, almost every weekend I was going out drinking. Come back, wouldn't have a clue what the hell happened last weekend, but thought it was a good time anyway.
Alyssa worked in a trades camp up north and said that being up there was when she started to notice her drinking as a problem.
But once I noticed what I was doing and how it ruined a lot. I got kicked out of that camp because of booze.
Over 50% of students who drink say that they participate in binge drinking as well. This is why the AGLC chose the 18 to 24-year-old age range for their campaign. The Thanks Alcohol campaign highlights the most common consequences of overconsumption, like becoming over-emotional, getting into fights, or waking up next to a stranger.
The main goal is to get young Albertans to think about the choices they are making while they are drinking.
I'm aware of what I'm spending, but I'm doing it anyway.
ThanksAlcohol.com uses a quiz to tell you what kind of drinker you are, and then gives you tips on what you can do to make better decisions. It suggests eating full meals before a night out, drinking water throughout the night, and even ways to control how much you spend on drinks.
The price of it starting, and then you make bad decisions. So you go to McDonald's when you're drunk and you'll spend more money there, and it's just, overall I was spending a lot of money just around parties and drinking. So.
Alyssa's journey has been difficult, but she has overcome the challenges she faced.
I moved back home, and that's when I found out I decided I wanted to be in the trades, which actually led me to what I'm doing now. So as like crappy as all that stuff that happened to me, it was actually a blessing because it only brought me to where I am now.
The campaign will run until November 24th and can be seen in bars and lounges, on their website ThanksAlcohol.com, and heard on the radio.
What would be the difference between binge drinking and going and having a few drinks?
Binge drinking is heavy episodes of drinking, so it would be consuming more than 5 drinks in a short period of time, as well as drinking with the intent to become intoxicated.
Is there a way to ensure you stay within your limit when drinking?
Well, everybody's limit is different, but there are low-risk drinking levels that are recommended, so that's about 3 drinks for men and 2 for women.
Thanks, Jordan. That's Jordan Wardell reporting live from our news center tonight. The University of Alberta introduced the first paperless flu clinic. The U of A teamed up with Alberta Health Services to create the paperless clinic. The system allows patients to sign up for their vaccinations on their mobile device, making the process faster and more secure.
Today it's at the facility, but tomorrow it's on their iPhone or their iPad or some other device. Will make an incredible difference in the opportunities under which people can go out and participate and get their flu shots in a more efficient, effective way.
The system was designed to make getting flu shots easier, as well as attract the younger population to get vaccinated. The province hopes to implement the new system in clinics across Alberta in the coming years.
Nate Newswatch, the next generation of news.
A potential tax hike could be affecting homeowners in 2015.
When you're rounding off $2.5 billion,
yes,
you can get to some pretty serious numbers.
The tax increase would include a 5.3% rise in municipal property taxes. The new funds would be put towards upgrading recreation facilities, construction of LRT lines, and neighborhood renewal.
We used the term a lot last year and again this year, the operating impacts of capital. The city's growing. We add amenities, facilities, LRT, rec centers you alluded to. We need to staff those.
The city says the increase is due in large part to the growing population. Edmonton has added over 60,000 people in the last 2 years. The proposed budget will continue to be debated throughout December.
Edmonton's transportation departments will make changes when it comes to clearing snow this winter. The system will see a new fixed schedule in place for the snow removal of residential streets. The set day schedule aims to take the confusion out of the old snow removal system. Residents will now know exactly when their streets will be bladed, making it easier to move their vehicles in time.
What that means is if you're a Friday for blading, you'll always be a Friday all winter long. The idea being it doesn't matter what day of the week we start. You're going to be the Friday, or you're going to be the Thursday.
For up-to-date maps and information on when your street will be bladed, visit edmonton.ca/winter roads.
Edmontonians are voicing their concerns about a proposed project after an open house in Old Strathcona.
A test project will see traffic removed from portions of White Avenue between midnight and 3 a.m. Connor Hogg reports from South Edmonton with more.
I'm here on White Avenue where a new project has just been proposed that could change the face of one of Edmonton's busiest entertainment districts. Edmontonians got a chance to give their feedback at an open house in Old Strathcona.
We haven't decided which streets. We need you to help us decide.
The city and some business groups in the area started the project after concerns arose about pedestrians on the street late at night.
There's nowhere for people to go when the bars and nightclubs let out. And around 3 in the morning when everything's shutting down, they got to get home, and there's really not any transportation for them to get home. So that's an issue. And so we need to move people to and through the area as quickly and efficiently as possible.
The Old Strathcona Building Association has been working with Responsible Hospitality Edmonton and the city on the proposed changes.
We're hoping that it'll reduce some of the broken windows and things like that happen.
Response to the project has been mixed.
People will find other places to go. It's only really going to help in the small area. It's not going to change much.
A lot of the bigger cities that's not Edmonton already do it. And as a guy that has a business on White Ave and works at the bars in White Ave, ideally, if it goes well, it's great.
What it'll do, again, just create a lot more space. People won't be jaywalking. It'll be a lot safer. It's also designed, and it has to be designed with late night transit and taxi service to be part of this project.
When and where the pilot project will be taking place is still being determined, but Edmontonians' opinions are being taken under consideration. With testing for the project not slated to begin until 2015, and many people voicing their opposing opinions on the matter, it seems that the future of White Avenue is still up for question. Connor Hogg, Nate Newswatch.
Edmonton City Council is raising awareness about the seriousness of domestic violence.
It exists in our communities and hurts people. It damages relationships and it tears families apart.
City Council named November as Family Violence Prevention Month. A campaign was launched at City Hall with speakers from City Council, the Alberta Legislature, and the Edmonton Police Service.
Can you imagine a child going back to school on Monday morning and they're supposed to be able to focus and supposed to be able to learn? How can you learn? How can you focus? How can you have relationships with your friends when your family is in total crisis?
The theme of the campaign is that families are the fabric of our community. Attendees were asked to sign a quilt of hope to signify their commitment to end domestic violence. You can find more events for this month at humanservices.com.ca.
The Stop Bullying, Don't Be a Bystander campaign hosted its second annual anti-bullying vigil. The candlelit vigil was organized to support the victims of bullying and raise awareness about the issue in our city. Edmontonians who have dealt with bullying were asked to speak out about their personal experiences. Manwar Khan organized the campaign after witnessing a violent crime in hopes to gain people's attention.
With you guys' help, we are spreading out this message to the community, school, and workplace that bullying is not acceptable. Bullying we used to see at school, now bullying even you can see at workplace, and this is not acceptable.
This was the fourth vigil held in Alberta this year, with plans to hold rallies in Calgary, Red Deer, and High River.
People who can't necessarily afford to make repairs to their homes during the winter can apply for help from a new program. The Housing Opportunities Program for Edmonton is a repair program that helps finance homeowners to bring their homes to a minimum health standard. The priority neighborhoods that are eligible to receive improvements are Alberta Avenue, Boyle Street, Central McDougall, Eastwood, Macaulay, and Queen Mary Park.
So anyone within the City of Edmonton has the opportunity to apply for funding up to $20,000. And they would enter into an agreement with the City of Edmonton over a 20-year period.
The program will assist in the funding for structural, heating, and plumbing improvements. The deadline to apply for HOPE is December 31st this year.
The Glenrose Hospital honored their 2014 Courage Award recipients. The hospital awarded 4 former patients and 1 caregiver with the award. Included in the ceremony were Wes and Wilf Mikalisha, who survived a house explosion in February of 2013. The brothers said the support they received was vital during their recovery process.
My mom was always there for us, and so my wife and his fiance, and also there was a lot of support within the hospital too, right? Through the doctors and nurses. And they were very understanding of what we went through and everything.
The recognition and community support is helping the brothers through their long rehabilitation process.
A new advancement in robotics at the Glenrose Hospital are giving people who are paralyzed a chance to walk again. The ESCO robotic skeleton legs were designed to give those with disabilities another chance to walk. This patient is one of the first to walk away from his wheelchair.
Yeah, they are essentially a new piece of equipment that we wanted to bring to the hospital, really as an opportunity for our care teams to evaluate how this could supplement, the clinical research and the care that we provide to multiple patient populations.
The Glenrose Hospital is the first center in Canada to own the technology. The legs are currently in the testing stage.
Coming up after the break, we take a look at the trend of organic foods.
Can the cost be a convenient option for students?
You really want to eat local, you want to keep money in the local economy, and you want to reduce your carbon footprint. We just give you the information and the ability to do that really easily.
Coming up in sports, I got Oops Basketball. Eskimos get ready to play the Rough Riders. And I learned the science behind boxing.
We've had a beautiful start to November so far, but the cold is starting to creep its way in. I'll let you know what to expect on Sunday coming up after the break.
What a beautiful morning shot down the river valley, but it looks like the ice is starting to form on the water.
Let's check in with Megan Strawn to see if that ice has any chance to get thicker this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Yes, things will be cooling down for Sunday, but first let's take a look at Jasper. Jasper is going to be staying below 0 with snow. So the mountains is a beautiful place for snow, so that is always good. Over in Fort McMurray, they're going to be ranging in the double digits. So it is going to be cool. If you're working outside, make sure to dress warm. Calgary, on the other hand, is going to have a high of 1 degree. They will have some light snow. I think here in Alberta, we can all agree that that is a beautiful day for November. Here in Edmonton, we are going to be affected by the snow in Jasper. So we will have some flurries in the morning. Our low is going to be of -7, which is right on par with our averages for this time, with a high of -2 for Edmonton, but the average is 1 degree and the average low is -7. For the records at this time, it is nothing compared to them. We had a low of -27 back in 1924. Too bad we couldn't be at our record high of 15 degrees back in 1905. Sunday is actually going to be the first sub-zero daytime high of the season since 1927. That has been your look at NATE Newswatch Weather.
Newswatch Weather is brought to you by NR92, the station for the students.
Edmonton has seen a growing trend of buying organic and local food.
And as that trend grows, ways to find these products have been leaving the farmers market and coming to your doorstep. Carly Robinson reports.
Organic food is that which is grown in a way that respects the natural environment.
Just so much more aware of the kind of pesticides and the kind of chemicals that are being used in our food, that organic is just the better option.
Student Bailey Baugh loves eating organic, but can't always make it to the farmer's market.
That was the big thing for me, getting older, having to be more aware of taking care of my body. I wanted to do what was right for me. And to me, that's eating organic and eating fruits and vegetables.
Now in Edmonton, there are numerous ways to get organic foods, and some don't even require leaving your home.
New to Edmonton, Spud.ca is now delivering your choice of groceries straight to your house, and all either local or organic.
So if you really want to eat local, you want to keep money in the local economy, and you want to reduce your carbon footprint, we just give you the information and the ability to do that really easily.
Since opening a month ago, Spud.ca has delivered to over 500 houses.
Now it's harvest time in Alberta. If you're buying local Alberta produce, we're going to be the exact same price as the farmers market because our farmers are also at the farmers market.
Getting your groceries delivered actually lowers your carbon footprint, as each truck takes about 60 cars off the road. For Nate Newswatch, Carly Robinson.
The Ooks basketball team has stormed out of the gate.
Yeah, they're being led by veterans Donnie Moss and Alvin Parker.
Both players have been crucial to the team this season with a mainly new supporting cast. Even with 11 new faces on the basketball team, the Ooks seem to not have many problems with chemistry, evident by their 2-0 start to the season. The team was looking to remain undefeated last weekend. The Ooks were showing off their hops in warm-ups as they got ready to face King's University College Friday night. Not bad. Let's start right after the first whistle as Alvin Parker collects a loose ball and feeds Adrian Curtis for the monster one-hand flush. Bang! That's how you start a game. Little bit later, Parker driving through traffic and finishes with a nice finger roll, 2 of his 13 points on the night. Now, 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Sander Likas gives a beautiful pass to Michael Murphy, who finishes off glass. Story of the game was Donnie Moss, though, and he was on fire. He nails back-to-back three-pointers from the same spot, part of his game-high 34 points. Look, Steve Nash. Likas shows us his no-look pass to Dan Rosima, who hits the left-handed layup. Coach Mike Connolly and first-year guard Wyatt Beaver had a friendly halftime chat, which is always nice. Second half action, Donnie Moss nails this shot with a hand in his face. Too easy for him. I think that's real hair. Moss showing us his game in the paint as he muscles his way in for the basket. Can't stop him. 45 seconds left in the third, down by 10. Ty Gardner hits the clutch three. Comeback time. Psych, Adrian Curtis, bang, ice cold with his third three-pointer. Moss would then hit a couple of free throws with 2 minutes left to seal the win for the Ooks. Moss was draining shots from everywhere on Friday, and he spoke about the importance of having an all-around game.
It's really important, so that means I'm tough to guide, both inside and outside. It can't be one-dimensional. You got to do it both ways.
CCAA All-Star, ACAA All-Star. Alvin Parker has been one of the best point guards in whichever conference he's played in. A kid who came out of a rough Baltimore high school has found success at the college level here in Canada. Between low grades and troubles off the court, Parker ended up not being eligible for any of the Div 1 scholarships American schools were offering him out of high school. However, he finally lucked out up north.
It wasn't a second chance, it wasn't a third chance, this was like my fourth or fifth. So it was like about time I made something happen.
Coming from Holland College, Parker's playing his last college year for the Ooks. With 3 kids and a girlfriend back in Baltimore, his motivation is clear.
Like while I'm on the court, all I'm thinking about is I got to do something to make something happen for my family. That's how I look at it.
So far, he's doing just that. The Edmonton Eskimos are on a roll, heading into their last regular season game tonight with 3 straight wins and a 12-5 overall record. The team was keeping things light at practice this week as they prepared to face Saskatchewan on the road. During the warm-up, the players suddenly started yelling at everyone on the sidelines to get the blood flowing by doing some push-ups. I got called out and did my best to impress. No contract offer. Although the Eskimos have already clinched second place and secured a home playoff game, the team wants to jump into the postseason with another win. Regular QB starter Mike Riley is out for tonight's game, so it's up to Matt Nichols to lead the team against the Rough Riders.
We look forward to finishing this season off with a win and carrying the momentum that we've already gained going into the postseason.
I'm one of those people who has watched about 100 Mike Tyson videos on YouTube without actually knowing much about boxing. So this week for my End Zone Challenge, I decided that it was time to fully appreciate the sport by giving it a shot. I'm with Matt Marshall, instructor at Marshall Boxing Club, and he's going to teach me how to box. We're going to do a 1-hour boxing lesson.
That's right. Today we're going to do pretty much everything. You're going to do some footwork, you're going to do some skipping, you're going to do some skills, some drills, a little bit of sparring. We're going to do hitting the pads, we're going to do hitting the bags, and finally we're going to do a really hardcore workout.
We started with the basic stance.
You want to hide your liver, which is right here. Hide it away from your opponent. Don't let him touch you.
Then with my hands up to protect the head, we did some footwork.
But if you're going to work your feet properly, you're also going to have to be able to be in good shape.
Next up was learning how to throw a solid punch.
The best punch, the first punch, the most basic punch is your jab. And your second punch is the cross. It's your right hand. They call it a cross. This comes across your body, and it's your power punch. All right, fantastic.
Time for some sparring. Notice how my opponent is nice enough to not hit back.
How was that? That's cool. I imagine a little bit more difficult if he was actually hitting back.
Work is so stressful, school is so stressful, life is so stressful, and there's almost nowhere to take it out. You come to the boxing gym and you finally get a chance to just unload and do what you want. It feels amazing. Jab, 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 jab right.
After I got to punch out more of that stress while working on my technique, it was time for an intense workout before we finished for the night.
Raise that ball and stand up. Nice.
Strength, speed, balance, everything. And how I felt after just an hour of boxing training?
Tired, exhausted, but good.
Thanks for coming down.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That was awesome.
You did really good.
I'm gonna go sleep. Bye.
So how you feeling after that workout? Still a little sore?
Yeah, a little bit. I figured it would be intense, but it was just so much fun.
Maybe we can have a playful sparring match during the commercial.
I'll pass.
Coming up after the break, Connor and I had the chance to volunteer for a good cause.
The Canadian Down Syndrome Society's Buddy Walk celebrated its 10th anniversary.
How positive an experience it can be, and they get to see the joy and see other peers with Down syndrome.
I'm Katie Hudson, and coming up in entertainment, we take a backstage tour of the Winster Center, talk with cross-dressing comedians, and I take you to Farm Fair International and the Canadian Finals Rodeo. All that and more coming up in entertainment.
Hair services provided by Salon and Spa Rocks.
This week, Jacob and I had the opportunity to help out at the Buddy Walk.
The walk is an event with the goal of raising money for education, research, and advocacy programs for Down Syndrome Society. More than 1,200 people took part in this year's walk, with proceeds supporting with the Edmonton Down Syndrome Society. The Society provides support and information for families. The event was a great way for parents and children with Down syndrome to meet and connect with others and raise money for the cause.
You know, it's huge for us. You know, community advocacy is a really big passion of mine, and just having a place where we can kind of gather together as a group and celebrate all the wonderful joy that comes from having a child with Down syndrome is very powerful, I think.
The goal of this year's event was to raise more than $100,000. The walk has raised more than $1 million in its 10 years. It's Rodeo Week this week, bringing out more rural side of our city.
And a local singer's video is gaining national attention. Katie Hudson is more in entertainment.
From the country to the city, Albertans are gathering this week to celebrate farming, ranching, and rodeo.
It's Rodeo Week!
Here at Farm Fair International, ranchers and farmers gather to show their livestock, sell equipment, and then later make their way to the rodeo. However, what may seem like just equipment, animals, or horseshoes is also a representation of a lifestyle and of family. Peyton Fanhanel is here with all of hers.
Yep. Yeah, all these little ones are my brothers and sisters. And Suzanne is there. Dad's at home doing chores.
Peyton says it takes the whole family to run a farm.
Keeping it in the family is also, ranchers take a lot of pride in that. Our family farm is actually 102 years old now. It's all about teamwork.
The people who come bring everywhere from memories of working on a farm
to sneak away and not do my homework as often as I should and just head off to the farm.
To the hard work they put into their craft.
Get to see a lot of the cowboys that I make hats for. I got quite a few hats that are riding in the rodeo tonight.
And after a day at Farm Fair, most head off to the rodeo. The rodeo, which includes events like bareback and steer wrestling, as well as Farm Fair International, runs until the end of tomorrow.
A local theater company that performs in drag prepares for a cross-dressing cabaret.
He's like, I'm an artist who just happens to be in drag. And I'm like, I'm a drag queen who's trying to figure out how to be an artist. Yeah, exactly. And somehow those two things came together really well.
Guys in Disguise is a theater company made up of both Trevor and Darren. Formed about 28 years ago, their work includes highly stylized pieces of theater in drag. This past week, they've been rehearsing for the annual Loud and Queer Cabaret, which will include drag, poems, scenes, and other theatrical pieces. Taking place this weekend, it's been running for over 2 decades.
They came into our lives. The gay community has sort of come out of the ghettoization of the gay community
absolutely.
And out of the darkness, and I think that It's awesome to see families and lots of people there that aren't gay or queer themselves, but it's a supportive environment.
Darren says that for him, their shows aren't just about entertainment, but to see beyond the mask of drag and reveal truth in being gay. The Winspear Center has been a hub for entertainment in Edmonton for just under 20 years. Now, they're trying to give a fresh perspective on their facility. That's the sound of the Davis concert organ, containing over 6,000 pipes. You'll learn facts like this at the Winspear's Overture Tour. It's free and happens a few times a month.
The reason that we do the Overture Tours is to get the information about the Winspear Center out into the community. Because there are a few misconceptions, and although we've been here for 17 years, a lot of people just aren't really sure what it is we do or how it is we operate.
The Winspear is home to the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra, but also other feature performances, graduations, and weddings. On the tour, you'll learn about facts as well as personal stories woven throughout the history of the Winspear. And finally, this week's viral video is a young, aspiring pop artist originally from St. Albert, encouraging women to celebrate all body shapes.
You know it's not about your waist, don't settle for.
On YouTube, Natty Valencia creates a cover of Meghan Trainor's song all about that bass. Natty's is called It's Not About Your Waist. She explains that Trainor's song celebrates women's curves by putting down other body shapes with lines like, I won't be a silicone stick figure Barbie doll.
It's body shaming in general, including skinny shaming. You've probably seen this in advertisements like 0 is not a size or real women have curves.
Natty's revised song lyrics include the message, start bringing beauty back, whether you are skinny, curvy, white, or black. From rodeo to theater to tours of the Winspear, lots of fun and interesting things to do locally here in your community. Take your family and friends out and treat them to an evening. I'm Katie Hudson, and that's been your look at entertainment.
Thanks, Katie. So we had the Buddy Walk this week, and we had a great time, and even looks like you met a new friend.
Yep, it felt like it was warm welcoming and everything. It was good to see over the 10 years they've raised over $1 million. Yeah,
over 1,200 people participated. It was pretty special. I'd definitely do it again.
Yep, and that has been your look at Nate Newswatch.
Don't forget to check out at natenewswatch.ca.